Absolutely nobody predicted that the Red Skull would be back in Infinity War and Endgame the way he was, and that was surely one of the most shocking moments in the film among many. Now the writers talk about how that was one of the big factors of deciding to come back and work on these films. So bringing back the Red Skull was something that Marvel Studios obviously started setting up before Avengers Infinity War. Now, we talked about it before, and usually they release those prelude comics, and something interesting happened in the one that featured the events of Captain America the First Avenger, where instead of showing the Red Skull sort of get disintegrated and what happens to him the way it does in the movie, they sort of retell it in a different way where we clearly see him get zapped up into space somewhere, and this brought many people to the conclusion that he would be coming back. We did a theory video on it saying this more or less guarantees he's coming back, but who knows how. And obviously it was kind of a very unexpected way to bring him back as the Soul Stone Keeper. How he got there, who really knows, but obviously he was transported up there, and then this was his curse, and that's sort of that. Whether they ever elaborate on that or not remains to be seen. Maybe they will. I have hopes they will, but who really knows? Recently, the writers of the film, Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, talked about the Red Skull, and they said one of the reasons they agreed to come back and do the film was if they were allowed to elaborate on Red Skull, elaborate on his story and what happened to him after Captain America the First Avenger, because that was something that was never really concluded. And they said that that's one of the big reasons that they came back, was they got to tell the story they wanted to, and they sort of had free reins over it because it was a blank slate. Nobody knew where he was. It was just kind of a loose end, so they could come up with any ideas that they had. And the last time we saw him was in 1943. We'll see him in the 2000s, and what is he? Who is he? And what has he become? And obviously, if you look at some of the concept art that's out there, they went through so many different iterations and ideas that it's pretty impressive overall. And the way that they were able to sort of bring him back and conclude his story is pretty great overall.